Welcome to Sign Up.
Welcome to Sign Up. The sun is out, spring is here.
This month is a Leeds Special, and we'll meet Ethan Ampadu, the club captain.
We have full belief and full confidence in this team that we can go on to achieve more points and stay in the Premier League, and that's what we're fighting for.
We'll also be talking to their manager, Daniel Farke.
I wanted to become a writer myself, so I really tried also like to write books. And when I was younger and the fire was burning.
Lucy Ward will be with us to review the latest stories in the Premier League and the Champions League.
I look at Bayern Munich and the way that they've played all season. I think that they might be the strongest.
Imagine Arsenal Bayern Munich final, Kane scores, wins the Champions League, takes it away from them, that would be great.
Plus, Liverpool's famous anthem translated into British Sign Language.
We start the show with Ethan Ampadu, who we met at the Leeds training ground.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
I'm Danny, mate. Rolf's interpreter.
Hello.
Have you worked with a deaf person before?
No.
Okay, so she's my voice standing over there.
Okay.
It's naturally for you to probably look to where the sound is coming from, but just keep your eyes on us.
Doing well so far.
Hello, welcome. Your dad was previously a professional footballer. Did you learn any experiences from him growing up? Any takeaways?
Definitely. He definitely installed a lot of, I like to say, my habits and how I play now. Growing up, it was always hard work first. Even from a little kid, it's like making sure no one outworks me, outruns me. I have to make sure I win all my duels, all my battles and stuff like this, and just to always try and be the hardest working player on the pitch, no matter who you're playing against. In terms of like physically seeing him directly, I was very young, so I don't remember too much of what he can do, but obviously I've got friends and family who have told me a lot.
Is he watching your matches now and giving you that advice and feedback?
Advice-wise, it's only when like maybe I ask for it or there's something important, because it's normally more a father and son relationship rather than player and coach. He wants me to get on with it and be quite independent for myself.
You made your senior debut for Exeter City at a young age of 15. Did you take that challenge on? Was it a bit unnerving?
I think it was, looking back, a positive. The fact I was so young, I was maybe a little bit naive to the pressures of the first team game, because I was so young, and a lot of older players might be working for their wages and for mortgages and stuff like that, whereas I was just a kid in school, so maybe I didn't have that external pressure, but it was something that I just enjoyed doing. As a kid, you always enjoy playing football, so it was never a daunting thing, but maybe it's because I didn't realise the pressures that I do now.
You later moved to Chelsea, and at that time there were a lot of world-class players there, and you were still quite young at the time. Were you starstruck?
I think naturally you can say yeah, because they're players you've watched on TV for however many years and maybe played on FIFA with, and then to be able to train with them, it was, you could say that, but also it was definitely just a great experience, and to learn from so many, like you said, world-class players was massive for me at such a young age as well.
You played across a number of leagues, Germany, Italy, and now England. How has that helped you develop, not just as a player, but as a person as well?
To be able to live abroad and in different countries, for me personally, I was able to grow as a man and as a boy, because you learn a different lifestyle, a different way of living, a different culture, and that was definitely an eye-opener for me.
You joined Leeds and became captain. So how do you feel with that additional pressure? Have you just kind of taken the role on and adapted easily?
I'd like to say I think I have. I'd like to say players who have played with me before, I was obviously fortunate to be given the captaincy, and after would say I'm still the same person. I don't think it's changed me at all. I hope it's not changed me. I still have to perform to the same way I did. I still try to lead and be the same person I was. So obviously I understand the added pressures that it may come with, but I'm still trying to be the same and growing in that way as well.
What's your view on the season so far at Leeds? Are you having a better than expected season, would you say?
I'd say it's probably a little bit more positive than negative so far. We've had spells where we've had to really learn from, and it's been very tough results. But we've also shown in larger patches our quality and what we can do, and we have full belief and full confidence in this team that we can go on to achieve more points and stay in the Premier League, and that's what we're fighting for. We believe we can do that. So hopefully by the end of the season we can say that it's been a good one, it's a successful one.
Putting football to one side, what do you like to do to switch off?
Oof. PlayStation with some teammates or watching TV. Anything I can do really just to like unwind and take my mind away from football. I've been trying to play darts. So it was I believe the Premier League darts or the World Cup of darts just on. Been trying to get into that, but I don't know. I'm not getting any better at all.
Favourite TV programme?
Ever, I enjoy Entourage, and I can watch that over again. Right now, Bridgerton.
Haven't yet watched that. Would you recommend it?
Yes, I would. Bridgerton's good. I enjoy it.
What about any hidden talents?
Ooh, I wish I had one. Honestly, zero. At one point, I got quite good at a Rubik's cube. During COVID, I got good at a Rubik's cube, but not anymore.
If you're good at that, you'd be very good at finger spelling in British Sign Language.
Yeah, I definitely have to learn more about that. Definitely.
Well, we can teach you a few words.
Okay.
A few
perfect.
signs. For yourself, Welsh.
Yeah.
So this is the sign for Welsh.
Like this?
Like this, or Wales.
Okay.
Leeds.
Like this?
Yep. It's like bird claws.
Ah, okay.
Captain.
Just like this?
Yeah, armband.
Armband.
Okay.
Yep.
What else do you want to learn?
Oh, because I'm going to try and say something, but it might be difficult for me, so it's definitely something I have to practice.
How are you?
Yeah, how are you? Like this?
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
BSL, obviously, we use a lip pattern at the same time because we rely on lip reading you as well as understand the signs. So you would say verbally, how are you on your lips,
Okay.
as well as the sign. So like this.
How are you?
Perfect. You're a pro.
No, far away from that.
A new hidden talent, eh?
Yeah, I can say that, yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate you coming for a chat.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you.
Wow, really impressed with Ampadu. He's 25, wears the captain armband. He's got a really good mentality.
Very mature. We're now joined by Lucy Ward. Welcome back to the show.
It's nice to be back.
This month is a Leeds Special. Tell us about your connections to the club.
Well, my parents supported Leeds when I was a kid. I played for Leeds as well for about, I don't know, maybe 14 seasons. And then I worked for them with the academy boys for about 17, 18 years. So lifelong, really.
It's in the blood.
Yes.
So Leeds this season are doing pretty well. Will they stay up?
I think so now. I think that...
It's not good news for us.
No, it's not good news for Palace or Spurs. No, that is not good. But what happened when they played Man City, they changed formation in the second half a few months ago. And since then, they've hardly lost. They've only lost, I think, sort of 3 or 4. So it's worked wonders for them.
So, Leeds manager Daniel Farke, are you impressed by him?
Yes. I'll tell you why. Because he came up with Norwich and didn't do as well. And
Twice?
Yes, twice, exactly. And he's learned, so he's thought, right, what do we need to stay up? And he's realised that to be physical, to run, to work hard is been the main basis of staying up, and that's what's happened, and Leeds have stayed up because of that, or will stay up probably because of that.
This season has been fantastic, though, because usually if 3 go up, then go back down again. So why do you think that this season's been different? What's changed?
I think that the teams near the bottom, what you would say are the smaller clubs, have been able to beat some of the better ones. And so in the middle, it's very concertinaed in the middle of the Premier League. So you never know what you're going to get. You never know whether top are going to beat bottom. I was there when Arsenal played Wolves, and they only just beat them in the end in the tie at the Emirates, and they were at the bottom then. So it can happen. So it's exciting.
Spurs. What's going on?
Do we have to talk about Spurs?
We absolutely have to.
Really?
It started last season, so and I think that Thomas Frank is a very, very good manager, and it just didn't seem to click with him and the players. But I don't think that was Thomas Frank. I think that's to do with the group of players, the sort of power that they feel. But in the end, these are players that are not used to fighting against relegation, and that puts them in quite a precarious spot.
Thank you so much, Lucy. After the break, we'll be back with Lucy to talk about the Premier League title race.
And we'll be returning to Leeds for our interview with manager Daniel Farke.
Welcome back. We're here at Leeds training ground with manager Daniel Farke. Hello, Daniel. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot for the invitation. Thank you.
This is your third season in the Premier League. You led Norwich to promotion twice, and you brought Leeds up to the Premier League. What would you say has been the biggest difference in terms of the transition from the Championship to the Premier League?
Well, it's a huge gap between the Premier League, the best league in the world, and all other leagues, and of course, and also to the Championship. It's no coincidence that in the last years, all the newly promoted sides were struggling. We want to break this curse and want to be the first side, more or less since a few years, to stay there in the first time of asking. And it's difficult to compare my former club, Norwich, and Leeds United. It's of course a different club in terms of size, in terms of fan base, in terms of tradition. So I really have to say I really like it. I also like how the club, together with our supporters, have approached right now also the Premier League, and this is what we want to do. We want to give this club and the supporters but what they need and also what they deserve. This club has huge potential and should play in the Premier League, and hopefully we can establish this club then also this time for good.
Think about your childhood. How did you get into football?
Well, it was my big love anyhow. So together with my mates, we were always outside and always playing. There was not much distraction of too many mobile phones or iPads or any apps anyhow. So of course it was always like school, and after school you went with your mates on the pitch and played football, or sometimes even on the street, and the garage more or less was the goal. So was pretty fortunate to have such a calm and also protected childhood, and we were allowed to play football each and every day.
Did your grandfather used to play football?
Yes, that's right. My grandfather was a really good football player. He played also for some big clubs in Germany. Borussia Dortmund, for example, was also pretty close to play in the national team. So yeah, was more or less in my roots already. So I had to play football, otherwise I would have been in trouble probably.
No choice.
No choice.
So you called yourself the slowest striker in Western Europe. Where did that come from?
Oh, you're well prepared. Yes, because it was the truth. I also was a striker who knew how to score, also good technique, had many skills, but I think the skill that limited me was always my pace, especially at this times, end of 90s, early 2000 years. Everyone was asking for quick strikers anyhow, and this has limited me. So the top clubs in the world, so Real Madrid, Barcelona, AC Milan, they have never called me, and I think the major reason was especially because I didn't have the skill in this term. So I knew how to score, and on my level I always scored many goals, and also technique was good and several skills, but this lack of pace has limited me a lot. Yes.
So originally you wanted to become a sporting director and you weren't actually that keen to become a coach. So what happened? Where was the shift?
Well prepared. Actually, I even studied economics, and I always was interested more in mid and long-term projects and to work really structured. I didn't want to work in an environment where just because you lose unlucky a game or you win lucky a game, you're praised and your job is more or less just rated by this. I always wanted to be ready also like with my work to influence a lot. And sometimes as a manager you are so addicted to if your group of 24 players are interested and if they are lucky or unlucky. I didn't want to work like this. I want to work more structured. But what has changed is more or less like in my first role, it was a smaller club in Germany. We didn't have the money to pay a manager and a sporting director and a head coach. So I fulfilled all the roles. And then I realized that working together with the players on the pitch, on football, on patterns, on tactical things is way more fun than to argue with the board about budgets or to argue with agents about salaries anyhow. And for that, step by step has shifted. And meanwhile, I'm a manager with all my heart and my soul, yes.
One of your earliest roles was at Dortmund for the reserves team. Thomas Tuchel was the manager of the team. What was your relationship like back then? Are you still in touch?
Yes, really good relationship. Of course, different roles. Thomas was already a proven coach in Germany, trained the first team of Borussia Dortmund. And there was a relatively young, unknown coach who overtook then the under-21. I left him his piece and didn't want to annoy him too much in the beginning because I know how busy and challenging also like such a role can be, and I didn't want to come across with too many questions anyhow. But it was then also from Thomas' side that more and more we interacted and had in the end a really good relationship and trained very often also together, discussed about football. I know on this level there's not much time to do this once you're in charge for the first team of the Bundesliga team, but yeah, we had a really good relationship and of course are still in touch. And whenever there's a question also from Thomas about right now my players who could be interesting about you, he has my telephone number and knows he can always ask me questions.
So how do you switch off aside from football? How do you relax?
It's difficult. If you want to work on this level, you have to be a bit like a workaholic and you have to be ready to invest. And there's rarely a day, sometimes there's a day without training, but the head is always working and you think about the next opponent, about the next lineup, about the next training session, about the next conversation, about the next meeting. It's important to try at least to take you sometimes a bit time off. So I like to do myself some sports to clear my head. I like to read a lot. I like also to watch films, and I have many different interests. So on my neck is not just the ball anyhow. I have the different interests, but as long as you work on this top level, it's also difficult, and you have to accept that you have to work a lot. And if you're not willing to do this, then it's also difficult to be competitive on the top level.
You say you've got a lot of hobbies and a lot of interests. Do you have any hidden talents?
So not enough time at the moment for many hobbies. Lots of interests, and I would like to travel more and to see more, but perhaps hidden is a bit like that I wanted to become a writer myself. So I really tried also like to write books anyhow when I was younger and the fire was burning. Just due to my love to literature and to read a lot. So this is still a bit something. I wouldn't say I'm unbelievably talented. Otherwise, I would have probably sold already a few books. But this is one of the hidden talents, perhaps. Yes.
You never know what will happen in the future. Would you write fiction or non-fiction if you could choose?
I think it would be non-fictions, perhaps also a bit like some thoughts about life in general. I think it would be more or less a roman in this terms, but not too boring. Yeah.
Well, we'll be the judge.
Good.
When it comes out.
Well, thank you so much. I know you're a busy guy, so I really appreciate you coming for a chat.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Felt really welcome. Thank you.
Lovely meeting Daniel. Quite
quite serious, but we had a really lovely conversation.
Yeah, I'm excited to read his book when it comes out.
Yeah, I'll borrow it, Rolf.
So the Premier League, obviously Arsenal are top of the tree at the moment, and we are discussing this before the midweek fixtures happen. But do you think they'll win come the end of the season?
I think they will, simply because they've been quite impressive. They're screwing their face up down. Yeah, as a Spurs fan, you don't want to hear that. But yeah,
I'll be professional.
I think that they've been that impressive as they've gone along, but it is very, very difficult as you get into sort of March and April, where it depends on who plays first, you know, who gets themselves in front. However, I just think that they've just shown enough, and City have shown a little bit of fragility at times, that I think Arsenal will stay in front.
There's a lot of talk to say Arsenal were boring. I mean, do you think they're boring to watch?
No, I just think they're effective. And the thing about Arteta is he wants to control every single game, but he doesn't control every single game. But to him, he would bore his way through to the Premier League title. But they don't. They've got some good players, and I think it's effective. If you're effective and you win, it's better than being excited and losing.
City v Arsenal, that game is so pivotal. We're all going to be there wondering what's going to happen after that.
Who will you be supporting, Lucy?
Do you know what? I don't know. I think I'm under the impression that I want someone new to win the Premier League. So somebody other than, but nothing against City, just something new and exciting. And I think, but then Arsenal fans will be very loud. That's the only problem.
So Arsenal, Man City, and then let's talk about Man United. You know, Carrick's come in. Out of 7 games, he's won 6. Obviously, we are filming this before the game against Newcastle. But what's changed from previous managers? What's he doing different?
Round pegs, round holes. So he's playing a back 4 instead of a back 3 that Amorim. I don't blame Amorim. Amorim came as a back 3 coach, and the owners at Man United wanted him there. So they put him in there. But I think the players are more suited, and all of a sudden you've got players getting used to playing at Man United and playing in a back 4. They look a lot more comfortable. Mainoo's back in, Šeško's scoring, so it's working. But I think just calming everything down, I think that's important.
So what about the top 5? I mean, it's ever-changing. Got Liverpool there, Chelsea, Aston Villa. Who do you think will get it? Who's going to Europe?
Well, at the moment, Aston Villa are not in very good form, and I think that Man United are on the way up, and it's all about who can keep the nerve in the next few weeks of who gets into the top 5, because I think it will be 5 Champions League places. But then you've also got Europa League and Conference League, and it'll probably go down as far as like 8th and 9th. However, a team like Chelsea, who've spent as much as they've spent, need to be in the Champions League, so this is a key month for them.
We have to mention James Milner, who recently got the accolade for most Premier League appearances. You knew him at Leeds, am I right?
Yes.
Did you expect that would happen?
Yes. Amazing. So I taught him at 16. So he came in on a scholarship, 2-year scholarship, and I taught him. So we would be in the school and I was teaching him, and then he made his debut in the December from the September when I started teaching him, and then all of a sudden he became famous, so the rest of the kids in the school wanted his autograph and a photograph. But he was single-minded, properly single-minded. He was determined, he had humility, and if you'd have said to me then, he's going to play until he's 40, he's going to break the record, I'd have said, I completely believe you. He was that good.
Amazing.
You noticed there was something special there. I mean, like what? Is it the skills that he had?
Well, in that time at Leeds, they were paying their kids quite a lot of money per week for not playing in the first team. So the kids thought, right, hang on a minute, I'm a young player, I've got loads of money, I stopped working hard, but he continued to work hard the whole time. So he had an attitude and a mentality where he wanted to be the best. From his family background, he was a Leeds fan, and I think he's just continued that throughout his career. He's always wanted to be the best in everything that he does.
Thanks, Lucy. We'll be back with Lucy later in the show to talk about the last 16 of the Champions League.
Now time for something special. Last month, Liverpool teamed up with their longest-standing partner, Carlsberg, to launch a new campaign, Signs of Unity. And before their match against West Ham, fans were invited to sign their iconic anthem. Take a look.
Watching King Kenny sign that, wow, it's giving me goosebumps.
There were loads of fans there watching the game. They sent us a few video messages and you can see what it meant to them.
Well done.
Absolutely fantastic. Really well done to Liverpool Football Club. And we hope more clubs do follow suit, meaning that all deaf fans can feel included.
Definitely. After the break, we visit FC Farsley, just down the road from Leeds, one of the biggest deaf football clubs in England.
Which has recently been taken over by a former Premier League goalkeeper.
Welcome back. I'm here at FC Farsley, just down the road from Leeds. FC Farsley is one of the biggest deaf football clubs in England. I'm here with Paul Young, head of football.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Tell us the history of FC Farsley.
The club was founded about 9 years ago. We worked in partnership with the Hearing Club to share the resources and the costs because they were so expensive. So Farsley Celtic at that time asked us if we wanted to join them, which we did. They had a semi-professional men's team at the time, a grassroots women's team, and a number of youth teams from 8, 9, and so on.
And you all share the same resources.
So when we joined, we brought a deaf team with us. We used the pitch, we share the resources, the funding, the publicity, the profile, and that really helps us because running a deaf team on its own is almost impossible. It's too expensive, lots of things associated with it. So we share the pitch, that helps us tenfold to improve our profile as well. So we're a deaf team working alongside these hearing teams, but retain our deaf identity. And they're run by deaf people. And that's the important thing.
So you said FC Farsley's been around for about 9 years. Have you won any silverware?
We've been building over the years. We've won, we've lost. We've got to a couple of finals with which we lost. But the real breakthrough was the Disability Cup final on BT Sport 3 years ago.
Yeah, I was there.
We beat St John's 3-2 with a last-minute goal. The crowd were ecstatic. Honestly, it was pure pandemonium. That was the breakthrough for us, where we realised the North could actually win. It'd always been the South up until that point, but it's like, hello, we're here, we're on the way. Again, we got to the EDF Challenge Cup and Deaf Champions League 3rd place. That was 2 years ago. So yeah,
Wow.
That's where we're at.
Wow. In a short history and you've managed to have some success, that's great. So in terms of a deaf football club, some players might not know any sign language, you might have some oral players playing in the team, but then they discover their deaf identity. Is that happened here?
It's interesting that you say that, because at the start we had a lot of signing players, but over the years we started to recruit more oral speaking players that were learning sign language slowly but surely, building that confidence up. Realising that other players on the pitch shared their level of deafness and sign language capability. So we worked together as a team to build their confidence. But on the pitch, there was one shared language, which is the language of football.
There have been a lot of changes at the club recently. Tell us about them.
Before, we were formerly known as Farsley Celtic. That went into liquidation. We rebranded, there was new ownership in place, and it became FC Farsley Sporting Club. Within that, we've got football, badminton, cricket, hockey, It's very much a community feel. We're here for the community. We've got deaf people, children and adults alike. It's a community hub, if you will.
Tell us about your new owner. Who is he?
His name is David Stockdale. He was a former manager for Farsley Celtic, professional men's team. And he and his wife took over the club. He himself was a professional goalkeeper for Fulham, Brighton, and really wanted to come into the club to reinvigorate it and bring them up a level, using that experience from the Premier League to help support the club as best he could. And it's a real positive addition to develop for the future.
How important is this club to the deaf community?
Having a football club affords these people the opportunity to come and be sociable. As a sporting community, that has a deaf identity at its heart. And it's where people can have a chat. They can go home after or continue that conversation at the pub. It's family friendly. The kids that come look up to the players, see them as role models. You know, at the age of 10, 11, 12 onwards, you know, FC Farsley, but then maybe even England thereafter or Team GB. They see that pathway that they might want to jump into and that they could also achieve it as well. And it gives them hope and opportunity. And that's important.
Thank you so much. Really look forward to seeing what FC Farsley does going forwards.
Thank you. Amazing. Best of luck to FC Farsley for the future.
Now, time to talk about the Champions League. We're into the last 16. Which fixtures are you looking forward to the most?
Well, it's mad because one side of the draw is really tough and one side of the draw, and you look at Arsenal in that and you think, can they see a route to the final? But you've got Real Madrid, Man City, you've got Spurs, Atletico, PSG.
Again?
I know, incredible.
That'll be the 5th season in a row.
It's amazing. It's amazing how many times they get drawn together, but it's such a heavyweight clash that everybody enjoys watching it anyway.
I think for me, Newcastle, Barcelona is going to be such an exciting game. The freedom of their play. There'll be a lot of goals. Because sometimes the Champions League can be quite tight. You know, no one wants to concede, but I think that's going to be a fantastic fixture.
Yeah, I think at St James's Park, it's very, very difficult to play at St James's Park. So they won't want to go there. And Newcastle tend to run all over teams up there. So it just depends on how they cope away from home.
So yeah, one side is obviously really tough. You've got Liverpool, Bayern Munich, PSG, just to say a few. Who do you think from that side is going to the final?
I think that Bayern, if I look at Bayern Munich and the way that they've played all season, I think that they might be the strongest over sort of the two-legged until you get to sort of the semi-final. Very strong. Obviously, Harry Kane playing well, Elise playing well. So they've got a really strong team that scores a lot of goals and are very, very good at home.
Imagine Arsenal, Bayern Munich final, Kane scores, wins the Champions League, takes it away from them. That would be great.
Arsenal are touted as the favourites. They've got Bayer Leverkusen in the next round, and they could either then play Sporting Lisbon or Bodo Glimt, that Norwegian side that's on fire at the moment. Have you been watching them play?
Yeah, so I went up to the Arctic Circle to watch them against Spurs, and yeah, obviously it was incredible. It's like a little town with like 50,000 people in there, and everybody supports the team, everybody's really friendly, it's freezing cold, you see the Northern Lights, but they're brilliant. So nobody will want to play there. It's an artificial pitch and it's got some folds in it at the side, so it's not even the pitch, which is why they have quite an advantage when they're at home. So we saw how they played in San Siro against Inter, so they can go and play away and play well. They're not afraid at all.
Champions League final will be taking place in Budapest this year. So it seems like you've got a strong view that Arsenal, Bayern Munich will be in the final?
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal, it looks easier, but I think over two legs, I think anybody can beat anybody, particularly now you've got to the 16. I'd be wary of Leverkusen, even though Arsenal should beat them. I'd be definitely wary of Bodo Glimt, certainly, but you have to say from an Arsenal point of view, they should reach the final. If they don't, then it'll be a disappointment.
So if it's a Munich-Arsenal final, who do you think will win?
I think Bayern would be very difficult to beat. I really do. If everybody stays fit, I think that Bayern would be quite difficult to beat. And I think it just seems that everything's heading that it might be their year in the Champions League.
Thank you so much, Lucy, for coming on the show. It's been lovely having you here.
Thanks for having me again.
And thank you for watching. We'll be back next month.
Fingers crossed Spurs get some points by then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.